travel to schools up and down 81. I live in Lackawanna County. I cover Schuylkill County to Bradford County. I always have such a special place in my heart for Sayre. I've only known your area for a little bit of time. You could just really tell the sense of community that's here. And I say that every single time I'm at a board meeting. I usually text Allie, who was your food service director here for a long time, and always say, "It's so sweet. Like I love coming up here to visit. Everyone's always so friendly. So thank you, for having us back." So just wanted to give a little bit of an update. As Shelly, if you want to just move through to the next slide here. We're always working hard to fulfill our promises that we made to you at Sayre. Cost controls, increasing participation. We're going to talk about some of the new and exciting things with your participation here. Promotion of the program. We're going to talk about some of our different new and some of our long-term programs that we're running. Nutrition education, and then of course as well customer engagement. We're going to see even in just those short weeks of school some of the things that Shelly and her team here have done. And before we move on, I do just have to give a special shout out to Shelly and all the cafeteria staff here at Sayre. They do such a wonderful job. None of this, you'll see some pictures, none of it is possible without them. They're every day making meals for the students, so thank you to them and to everybody involved. So as the summers are happening, we are very busy getting ready for the school year. Every year we do host our summer seminar where we focus and pack all of our professional development for our directors in. This year we held it back at Penn State. Nutrition Group has grown to over 7 states now, so we actually all get together, which is wonderful, and we do some professional development training. Our theme for this year is Be the Change. Last year we focused on positivity. This year we're focusing on Be the Change, which is not a new concept, but something that we're really hoping to bring into this school year. So we're excited as we pass that message on to our hourly staff as well. I wanted to do a little snapshot of some things that Sayre's to give an update on. First, this beautiful picture that you see is the breakfast part that has just started at Sayre High School. As everybody knows, breakfast and lunch at Sayre is free for all students, and a change that recently happened in PA is PA extended free breakfast to all, so whether you participated in the program that we participated in here at Sayre or not, PA extended free breakfast for everyone. And they also followed that up with reimbursing everybody at that free rate. So it's important, to get that federal and state subsidy to help grow the program. So it's a wonderful thing. Increase that rate to $2.94 per meal for breakfast, which is a very large increase from last year. So we're excited about that to help bring it back into the food service program. So you'll see that breakfast card. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Shelly and Carrie and the administration staff that helped. Last year we were awarded a $10,000 breakfast grant that purchased the breakfast cart as well as a couple blenders and a mobile POS station to make that happen. And again, that mobile POS station is going to be able to be used in a variety of ways, not just at the breakfast cart, but as we continue to grow and have some plans for the program. So just wanted to show a picture of that here as we're getting that started, and Shelly has some great plans of some different options. You may have seen on your menus, you also are seeing hot breakfast options at Snyder this year. So as we're kicking that off, there's more than just those grab-and-go pastries, and we're seeing that as well at the high school level. I wanted to talk about lunches as well, and I had some numbers up there as well because I just think they're really important to bring up. When you elected in 22-23 to move to the CEP program, the board did that. It was at a low percentage. It was really important that you wanted to continue to give those students the free breakfast and lunch, but I actually misspoke before. It was at 68% that you were claiming for free, which is a very low percentage. You've now moved, so this year your claiming percentage is 86.5%. So it's really going to help to decrease the loss in the cafeteria account and help offset those costs, which I feel like is so important. So really excited to see that. And again, that's only on lunch because breakfast you're being reimbursed at that all free level. So it continues to grow. So 22-23 was 68%. Last year it moved to 79, and then this year 86.5. So really awesome. And that is calculated based on your students who are directly certified. So if you're receiving some sort of other assistance, that's where those numbers come from. dill chicken sandwich. This is with the National Hot Honey Sauce. It's a great recipe. We're featuring this at the high school level. The National Hot Honey Sauce does have a little spice to it, but it is good. And the dill chicken is a whole muscle product, so we're really excited about that. That is on the menu here at Sayre High School, I believe tomorrow. So excited. Some new pizza recipes. This one, the hot honey chicken pizza. Of course, too, we're making some of our other specialties, sausage pizza or buffalo chicken. Some different deli options on ciabatta buns, and they're a nice soft ciabatta bun. Again, I'm eating that 51% whole grain. Some international bowls, General Tso's mac and cheese, Orange Kiss chicken bowl, a faux bowl, chicken faux bowl. So all of these things are coming up on your menu. Some new breakfast items, the blueberry overnight oats, waffle grilled cheese, and boba drinks at our high school level that meet Smart Snacks, the sugar-free lemonade, strawberry boba. They've definitely been a hit to purchase a la carte. So lots of new items that are coming up for this school year. We're excited to reintroduce our bistro boxes. Right before we had closed for COVID, we started with these bistro boxes. Similar, they look a little similar to like a bento box that I know my children want me to pack in their lunch, but I tell them they're getting lunch at school. So there's definitely a lot of nice little options here. Shelly and her team are going to roll these out within this next month. There's been a lot of new items that we're getting. So they're meat for a meal, and they have a lot of different recipes. Some are full vegetarian with the chips and the hummus, and we also have an Italian one, almost like a little charcuterie mix in a bistro box. Now we also have an elementary version of this. We're calling it a Lunchable. So they've already kicked those off at the elementary school, and I know Bailey is making lots of them, almost over 100, 150 when we have them, and similar recipes, with that you would maybe see in a Lunchable. They're just our take on it. So ham and cheese with crackers, turkey and cheese. There's a build your own pizza, and all of those items, they meet the National School Lunch Program guidelines. Plus, when you get them, you can still take your fruits and veggies, which is really nice, and of course your 8 ounces of milk. So just a little snapshot of some of our programs. Wellness Wednesday, we do a fruit or vegetable forward sampling at the elementary or high school level. We do that one Wednesday a month, and you'll see those labeled right on your menu. Tasty Bites, just a different a la carte item that we sell at either level, high school or elementary. Excuse me, Farm to Fork. You're going to see a picture of that right now. Apples are a really big item that we're promoting. Farm to Fork. We're getting our apples here at Sayre that we're serving right from Small Dog Orchard, which is a local vendor. We're really excited this year. We're also going to be partnering and getting local beef products in. We received a grant, and all of our nutrition group schools are really pushing the local beef. So we received a grant to help offset that cost for the schools. So we're excited to bring that here as well. Featured Faves, which is a different chef-inspired recipe. Our corporate chef, he comes out with some really exciting items. We actually just got the first list today as schools kicked back off, so you're going to see some of those. And then Crave Days are special event days where Shelly's been planning those periodically throughout the year. And again, they're all going to be listed right on your menu. So you can see some pictures of items that already happened here at Sayre. The top is the layered Cobb salad. So these are salad shakers where the students can get those. They're layered with romaine, hard-boiled egg, bacon, some different veggies, and they're able to get those and use those for a meal. Again, they have different grain options to come with them as well. And they have a lid on them, so it's nice that they can take them with them if they don't want to eat them in. Up in the other side is the French Canadian Monte Cristo, which is one of the featured faves that came out right at the end of last year. So Shelly and her team here did that one. Homemade, the French toast, homemade.
dumplings up here. They're delicious. Like I said, I wish we had you here 50 years ago. Time goes on here. Okay. We have a special presentation.
We do, Mrs. Ramsey.
Mrs. Ramsey.
Yes.
I promise I'll be quick.
It's okay, take your time to share.
So I'm here on behalf of the English department here at the high school. Last year, during our PLC, or our professional learning community, we saw that there was a need for like specific and specialized assistance for the students in their writing. And it's, you know, just one more thing that we don't necessarily have time for in the 42 minutes on top of the other things and tasks and activities that we're doing. So we came together and we tried to figure out a way to not only help the students writing in English class, but across curriculums as well. So we created a writing center here at the high school, and it's open 4 periods of the day where students can come no matter what assignment they're working on for whatever class. So for instance, I know our biology department likes to do 10% summaries or even journals. So if a student is struggling getting started or understanding the process of summary, they can be given a pre-signed pass to come visit the writing center during one of the times that it's open and receive specific instruction and help on that assignment to help improve their writing and therefore help them in other classes besides just English. So as you've gone around the building, you may have noticed there's a few signs like this of various colors. Those are indicating the classrooms in which a writing center is held. So it's open periods 3, 4, 8, and 9 with Mr. Palumbo in room 120, Miss Elston in room 213 upstairs, Mrs. Wagaman in room 122, and myself in room 113. So if you see one of these signs, that means that that holds a writing center, and that you are able to come get specialized help on your assignment, whether it's for English class, or science, or history, or even math, although please don't ask us like with numbers or anything like that, because that's a bit of a struggle for us English people. But we're hoping that that not only helps the students in their writing abilities, but it helps them across the curriculums and in their other subjects to then hopefully help us on PSSAs and Keystones and students moving on. We've had some students utilize it already. I have been helping some seniors with college essays and applications and resumes and those type of aspects, so we hope to see it grow even further. But yeah, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Oh, and Mrs. Agnew and Mr. Cole, I have your Bethy's Place vouchers you purchased from the senior class, so please don't let me forget them tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Ramsey.
Did Betty's ice cream sandwiches that you ordered?
That's right. I forgot all about that. Well, I knew there was one reason why I had to come tonight, so. But anyway, thank you, Mrs. Ramsey. Let's get on to the consent agenda. Item number 2 on the agenda is the minutes for September 3rd, 2024. Down to instruction, the conference requests in section 3, letter A, down to letter B of number 3, the motion to approve the field trips as presented. Letter C for the district volunteers. Letter D for the dual enrollment agreements. Over to finance, that should be number 4. Pull that over here. Motion to approve the bills for, as presented on September 16th, 24. The treasurer's reports, the cafeteria capital projects, federal programs, and the general fund. Berkheimer tax report in letter number C. Also in D, the linkage agreement for the children's house. And also letter E, we do have a transfer to be made, for, let's see here, for the transfer of $400,000 from the 23-24 general fund budget assigned for future retired professional staff insurance costs. And letter F, implementation agreement for the 24 CSBEH school attestation. I know, spit that out. Number 5, personnel, to present, to the board as presented, as far as a couple of recommendations, as far as a retirement, as well as, and 2 resignations, I'm sorry. And also, in letter B, also, we're going to tenure a teacher, Ms. Sarah Sturpon. She's completed all requirements set by the state of Pennsylvania for tenure. I think that's everything on the consent agenda. So do we have a motion and a second to accept,
District policy.
okay, we can run, also number 6, district policy, final reading for the following, for the pregnant parenting, married student, hazing, as well as the bullying, cyber bullying, information. So we have okay, so do we have a motion and a second to accept the consent agenda?
Motion.
Motion
Second.
and a second. Questions and comments?
Mr. Hendrick, for Keystone, do you know, is that more of a permanent thing now? Have they figured out their, or is it year to year?
I'm optimistic that it's been organized. It's been a little, it ghosted us a little bit this fall, but I think it's back to normal. They partnered, I'm gonna forget the name of, it's a higher ed. They kind of come in and help colleges that are struggling a little bit, might not have as much infrastructure. So I'm pretty optimistic. If not, we're gonna plan to go right to Lackawanna. That's why we had that approved previously. So a lot better communication in the last week or so.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Katrini,
Right?
Mr. Katrini, if I
It
could
sounds like
add.
a presidential debate. There was a question there, kind of an answer, maybe.
Yeah, well, I'm still I'm a little nervous yet. They, like I said, all summer they've been kind of MIA.
Just kidding.
So if I could add to that, the communication that Mr. Hendrick and I have had recently, they've had new staff, so there's been some turnover this past summer, which was lack of communication, but the agreement is only for 1 year. Okay, there's not a 3-year commitment.
Thank you.
Certainly.
And they are, last time I knew that they did have a merger coming up with, again, I don't remember the school either, Mr. Hendrick, but that's the last one. Yeah, yeah.
I just want to make a quick comment on the field trips. So last year, at the end of the year, maybe beginning of the year, we talked about the district covering the cost of educational field trips. So I appreciate the administration and obviously Barry for making room in our budget to allow for educational field trips. It's always great when we're reviewing the agenda to see the list of field trips. I love to see the kids out enjoying those. So I just wanted to give a shout out and say thank you to Barry, who clearly is not here, but for making some room in the budget to do so.
Am I allowed to touch it? On that, Trish, also, if you are a parent that has your clearances, please, 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 please volunteer to go on these field trips. Because we aren't able to do these field trips without the support of the parents and things like that. Because it is extremely difficult to go on these field trips without the support of the parents and the extra help when you're traveling to all these awesome things that these teachers have put together.
And being a volunteer in this district is easier than ever. So
Negative
thank you.
ghostwriter. You have to have your clearances done within this last year. you have to make sure your clearances, your FBI clearances, and all those things are done within the last 365 days in order to get cleared.
So would that
For-
be every year you have to get clearances if you are?
If,
volunteer?
if,
You can come in one day in that year.
yep, as long as you volunteer 1 year and you maintain your volunteer, then you're perfectly fine.
And just for clarity, the district is paying for student field trips?
They're paying for educational,
There's a budget for that.
there's a budget for
Mrs.
educational.
Morel would have a budget for
Sarah,
the elementary.
Education.
It's not an unlimited budget, it's
Is
a.
that this year, like, we'll be told about this?
And Mrs. Morel, maybe she hasn't gone over that yet. I know she was out today for her faculty meeting, so maybe she didn't go over that yet. Wasn't on Mrs. Podolsky's list. She ran the faculty meeting. Yeah.
Okay,
And
back,
before you vote, I'm gonna
yeah,
table.
back to personnel. We will accept the professional resignation of Regina Fitzpatrick, as well as the support staff resignation of Nick Cotto, as well as Christine Leonard. And we would like to table for, letter C, the advisors for the senior high FBLA and the junior high FBLA, Colby Sangre and Carol Ramsey at this moment.
Right, and so the reason I got that at the end of the day was that they wanted to co-advise, not individual, the two different positions, so it'll go back on the agenda for the next meeting, and the vote be co-advisors to both junior high and senior high. But they're welcome to start now. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments in regards to the consent agenda? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So moved. Item 7 up for roll call is the contract renewal, or a motion to approve the renewal of the collective bargaining agreement between the Sayre Area School District and the Sayre Area Education Association effective July 1st, 2024 through June 30th of 2029. We have a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Questions or comments about the agreement? Okay, Mrs. Pacheco, roll call please.
We'll begin with Mrs. Agnew,
Yes.
Mrs. Blake,
Yes.
Mr. Hadlock,
Yep.
Mrs. Clement,
Yes.
Mr. Petrini,
Yes.
Mr. Root,
Yes.
Mr. Skirpon,
Yes.
Mr. Cole.
Yes. Letter B, board secretary appointment. We'll have a motion to approve Mrs. Deborah Pacheco as secretary to the Sayre Area Board of Directors as per section 404 of the Public School Code of 1949. The board secretary shall be elected for a term of 4 years beginning the first day of July. Following such election, term will be from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th of 2028. We have a motion and a second.
Motion.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Questions or comments?
Do a wonderful job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mrs. Pacheco.
We'll begin with
Roll call.
Mrs. Blake,
Yes.
Mr. Hadlock,
Yes.
Mrs. Clement,
Yes.
Mr. Petrini,
Yes.
Mr. Root,
Yes.
Mr. Skirpon,
Yes.
Mrs. Agnew,
Yes.
Mr. Cole.
Yes. Okay, Mrs. Ely, you're up. High school principals report.
Good evening, everyone. I want to start by just saying thank you to Mrs. Ramsey for coming tonight and talking about the Writing Center a little bit. But more so, I would like to thank that whole ELA department last year. They saw a need, they came together, they discussed how they could fill that need, and I'm really excited to see that come to fruition this year, and excited to see how it goes. So thank you to the 4 of them for bringing that to life. The only other things I need to talk about tonight are pictures. It's on the calendar, so check out the district calendar, but there was a slight change in our picture days here at the high school. So pictures will be held next Friday, September 27th, and our makeup day will be October 23rd for all high school students. And the only other thing I wanted to mention was here at the high school, we're partnering with our CSBBH workers from Concern that are here in our building 5 days a week to recognize Suicide Prevention Month. So they're putting some information together to get out to everyone. They've hung some flyers, so we are encouraging everyone to wear teal and purple on September 30th to raise awareness for suicide prevention. And that's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Gilly.
Mr. Cole, not to interrupt, sorry, Dr. Rosa, can you have Tammy add to the Facebook of that communication for Picture Day?
Say that one more time.
Can you have Tammy add communication to the Facebook page about the change for Picture Day?
Actually, Mrs. Laughlin is working on a flyer that we're going to post, so that'll be any day.
Thank you.
And just so that might be helpful for our Facebook page, we have a number of moderators. So like Mrs. Laughlin is a moderator, so she can create a post. It goes directly to Tammy just for review and then posting, so she doesn't have to create all of those. We have teachers, support staff, secretarials that are moderators in our system. Gives them access to create a post and it goes directly to Mrs. Shetty. Perfect.
Thank you. Mr. Howie, good evening, Assistant Principal's report.
Good evening. I don't typically need this. All right. First off, our discipline roles are off and running. We've had 40 referrals by 23 kids. Basically boils down to we got 4 or 5 that are having a rough time making a full day, so they come really late several times, or they leave a little early. We'll get it straightened out, nothing too egregious. Athletics have been going, obviously not quite getting the results we'd like, but when you go to see the practices, you go to see the games, you're seeing kids and coaches who are competing. And that'll turn, sooner or later it's going to turn, and I was in a meeting at the end of last week, tensions were really high, and I think there was a very important statement made that would help our community. And that would be to think about when you're at an event to cheer instead of jeer. Cheer for our own children, cheer for our team, don't jeer anyone. It's a slight difference between the CH and the J, but it makes a world of difference in our 12 to 17-year-old children. So I would ask that please put that in your mindset so we don't have further yelling matches. Other than that, discipline athletics, yeah, I think we're good. Things are rolling along and we'll get going here on winter numbers soon, I'm sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Howie. Anything to report on from the elementary side?
Mrs. Podolsky, did Mrs. Morel give you anything to report this evening?
Did not.
I just thought maybe since you're here this evening, you were here to report for her as well.
I'm done.
You're out. Okay.
She just came to watch me try.
It's okay, Kevin.
Yes, Sarah, congratulations on your tenure. You know, I wanted to say that. Also, she stepped out while Mrs. Ramsey was talking. I just thought it was interesting that 3 of the 4 people who started the writing lab are SHS grads, so kudos to them for trying to make their own school better. Thanks for coming back.
What do I do now?
I can't tell you. We had a very successful PD day today. Patan provided renewed training for us, for our support staff and a few selected teachers. It was free. It's a program that's designed to help staff build relationships and connections with at-risk students while emphasizing student strengths and resources. We're optimistic that the program will help our students who are at high risk of dropping out. Part of our optimism is, I probably remember we talked about, we did a kind of a informal version of this as an admin team, everybody from Mr. Claypool to the rest of everybody, but except for Mrs. Morrell, obviously she's not in the building, but we all took a few kids and did an informal version of this, and it worked very well. And we were able to get, you know, a lot of kids over the hump. So we're excited to start that program. We also had a science of reading training for our 3rd to 6th grade ELA teachers. It's our next step to meet PDE's Chapter 49, structured literacy training requirements. We've already had our K2 teachers for the past 2 years working through letters, so we're excited to kick that off. And we started that today, and we'll pick that up on our next PD day in October. That's it for me tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Handry. Dr. Tejan, good evening.
Good evening.
All right, so the Redskin Hawks After School Program is up and running. Thank you to Mrs. Blythe for that wonderful name. So programming started for students on September 3rd. The program runs from 3 o'clock until 5:30. It is free to families. We have 52 students currently, and our cap is 60. So Mrs. Rancourt is actually with us tonight, so huge shout out to her for all of her commitment and dedication. I also have a quick grants update for you. So we are we're working on the writing process for another school safety and mental health grant through PCCD in the amount of $117,000. So a portion of those funds will be for the SRO and continued use for that, as well as additional surveillance cameras in both buildings. And then the last thing I wanted to share, PDE began a new initiative over the last year to provide funding for students who are completing internships or their student teaching. So we were able to secure $5,000 for a student teacher / intern for speech and language pathology. So that individual is working with Mrs. Paris currently. And that's it for me tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Tejan. Northern Tier Career Center report. We will have a meeting on September the 19th, which is this Thursday evening, down at the Career Center at 6:30 p.m. I just wanted, seeing I really don't have anything, we haven't had our meeting for September yet. Just want to let folks know that we do have, for seniors only, for 1 year down there, what they call diversified occupations, which is an opportunity that is available to students down there who are not enrolled in another Career Center program. It allows students with specific career objectives and pathways that are not offered at the Career Center to gain relative experience for credit. Students complete theory classes through the Career Center, including employability, career development, workplace readiness, technical skills, and safety. And students also complete their remaining hours, about 15 hours per week, through paid part-time on-the-job experience at training sites where they develop those skills in accordance with their individual training plans. And of course, they will complete as well the NACI program for skills in the workplace success program that they do have down there. And there's many opportunities that they've been given. They'll might go to, say, one of the banking services in and around the Towanda area or in and around the Bradford County area, or different other locales where they can actually put their skills into action, basically. So, like I said, it's been a very successful program down there, especially for the young people that are looking to get skills as they graduate from high school. Other than that, we'll go to committee reports, and if there's anyone that would like to give a committee report at this time.
Ron, you're always looking at me smiling like you
I already
know.
know.
I'll give a quick athletic update. So the sign up for winter sports is going to be underway soon. You can still sign up Numbers are increasing on athletics, and I could not be happier about that, of course. So, really thankful for Mr. Howdy and of course Mr. Claypool for continuing those efforts. The coaching staff really is pretty wonderful. Right now, football, we are growing, and every single game they are better than they were the day before. So they come out every single day in practice, and they are giving it their all. The outcome is obviously not best, but they don't give up, and I love that so much. I also love the community involvement. Every single Friday night, this Saturday, but every single Friday night, the community really comes out and they cheer for them, and I love to see that as well. So hats off to that football team. They're working really, really hard. Coaches are working really, really hard. And I believe, if I was told correctly, that our JV volleyball girls had a game tonight and they won.
They did.
Yes.
So congratulations to them. And that is it for me.
By the way, the reason why I smile is because I know I'm not the only one getting the report up here, so.
You always count on me,
but,
Mr. Cole.
Mrs. Kmetz, do you want to add anything?
She stole my whole report.
She did.
This would be all about homecoming.
Uh,
But yeah, so homecoming is the 12th. Don't forget, if any groups want to participate in the parade, make sure you sign up to do that. There is going to be a carnival before the parade. We don't have a ton of specifics on that yet, but as soon as we do, we'll share. And then there's like a ton of activities. There's field painting the week before, and then of course the homecoming dance. So make sure everybody's checking the calendar. It's all should be on there. It'll be fun, I think.
Thank you, Mrs. Kmetz. Anyone else that would like to give a committee report? All righty, I'm up next. I just want to say, I'm glad that we've got an agreement with the Sarah Area Education Association. Thank you for everyone down there that participated, and like I said, things went very smoothly, Max, and I think we all agree up here at the table and down below there. Thank you. Mrs. Luchego, thank you once again for all your service. I'm not going to tell you how many years, but thank you. You'll be with us, you know, at least for 4 more years, or in that neighborhood. I give it out. But anyway, also, I want everyone to check out the Facebook and the school webpage. And it's amazing. You'll see what the National Honor Society is doing. They're working around the school, making it look good for everyone, lending a hand to clean up after athletic events. And they do a lot for the school, and I appreciate what they do. Glad to see the Grandparents' Day still going strong for our kindergarten classes. Mrs. Romberger, I can honestly say, well, I haven't gone through it, but my parents did, and my in-laws did. Thank you for keeping that program growing strong. Parent Advisory Committee, I know I'm probably stealing something here from Dr. Delosio. They start on September the 18th. I'm still glad to see this program growing. We're also honored to have the marching bands from the Bradford Sullivan school districts for the cavalcade of bands here on the 25th of September. 7 p.m. I believe is the start time for that. Come early because seats will go fast. Dr. Regina Fitzpatrick, we want to thank her for her services to our district throughout her years. Ms. Skirvant, congratulations on receiving your tenure as well. And I hope I didn't forget anyone or anybody, but thank you so much for all that you do here in our school district. Dr. Delosio.
All right, so you did cut my report in half, so that's good, thank you. So I know Mrs. Morell is not here, but the book fair was well attended last week, and I think on Saturday the parents at PTG hosted a morning where parents could come in and on Saturday and give up their time. So I greatly appreciate them doing that as well. As Mrs. Kmetz said, we did have community relations and homecoming was spoken about for what our part will be, but I'm gonna lean to Mrs. Ramsey because I think it's a whole highlight, right? So it's an entire week. You're kicking homecoming off this year on October 5th, Saturday night with a dance. Is that correct?
So the kids wanted one large event to kind of
Yeah.
kick off the week, and I told them we couldn't do anything in addition to what we were already doing, because the list was long.
Yes.
So we moved homecoming to October 5th to kind of kick it off, and then we are bringing back the tradition of all decorating throughout the building. So the entire inside of the high school will be decorated. This year's theme is Game On, and so the grade levels will be competing to create the best board game hallway. And then we have our traditional spirit days, and more information on those will be posted probably by the end of the week. And we are also introducing the carnival Saturday, the 12th, of homecoming from 11 to 3:30, with various groups throughout the district are invited. They should have received that email this past weekend, inviting them to run a booth either as a fundraiser or not at the carnival for the community. We'll have events where you do have to kind of pay for the traditional carnival game, but there will also be free events as well. We're also running a big bingo tournament style at the carnival. And then at 3:30, we're going to take everyone out front to Lockhart Street to be ready for that parade.
Thank you. And I think on Wednesday, we have field painting scheduled on that Wednesday for our seniors. That's great. So, and then the parade's at 4:15, and then we'll be back for the homecoming, the crowning, and the game that night. So
As
it's
well as
exciting.
senior night. I believe it is also senior night for the
Yes.
senior athletes, cheerleaders, and marching band. So we want to make sure that the seniors are also featured, not just the
Thank you. And I had Mrs. Skirpon saying down, your name's been mentioned a lot tonight. So I just want to share with the board, it was 3 years ago, in August, I met Ms. Skirpon for the first time, and she had been teaching in New York. She came back to her alma mater to apply and interview, and it was the first time, 20 years as being an administrator, I had an applicant sing to me during the interview. It was fantastic. Voice of an angel, without a doubt. So glad I said, yes, let's hire her. She is going to be a great pick in addition to kindergarten, so. Mr. Sutrick, you didn't sing during your interview? I didn't interview you, but years ago, no singing, no.
No, but Sarah wants to show the board, but she's.
No, it's okay.
Not right now. We need another time,
I have
another
to
time.
sing my voice tomorrow.
So as Mr. Hendrick said today, we had a professional development day. It was a nice way to start a Monday. I know that we have our traditional opening breakfast on that first day back with our teachers, which we did on August 19th, but we also started this morning with breakfast so that they could get together and converse with each other around the table, share a bagel or a yogurt, and have some time together and reconnect, because we don't always get that time when we're working so hard. So I enjoyed that time and meeting and greeting and connecting with our teachers, seeing how the beginning of their year was. Another one I want to note is that we have MeWe 101. So 3 years ago, we have a grant that we're partnered with the IU on. And this year, K-2 and 9 to 12 science educators are working through the MeWe process. And I believe 6 to 8 will be doing MeWe experiences with their students out in the field somewhere this year at their choice. I did attend the Intro to Science of Reading with Apogee and our 3rd through 5th grade teachers and a few specialists today. That was fantastic. And then Mr. Nolde, Ms. Short, or yes, Mrs. Short, Mrs. Dahl Edgerton, our new business teacher, and Mrs. Wagman worked together today, as they will across the course of this year, to plan our new personal finance literacy course that's required in 2026 from the state. So we got that up and running. Mrs. Podolinsky happens to be here. Thank you for running our faculty meeting at the elementary school in Mrs. Morell's absence. She's working through a program right now, so we wanted to give her some experiences. So you're welcome. Anytime, just reach out. I have lots of work that needs done. We'll be happy to give you lots of experiences.
Don't fire her up too much.
All right, and then the last one, I just wanted to thank our partner of Choice 102 and Pat McDonald. He had reached out about 3 weeks ago, and he wants to spotlight Sayre every Thursday morning at 7:45 on Choice 102. So we have students that are going over. So on our first Thursday, we sent our senior president, our high school class, senior class president, Liam Berry, and the vice president. I'm going to lose her name right now. Hold on. Oh.
Reagan Parrish.
Thank you, Mrs. Parrish. Ms. Parrish, she went over and they did a great job in the morning. We had football players go over. And this coming Thursday at 7:45, Miss Ackerman and 3 band students will be over there to highlight the cavalcade for next Wednesday evening. So the Thursday morning, 7:45, Pat McDonald will be at the island, well, Choice 102, I'm not sure it's called the island anymore, but Choice 102 and Say will be highlighted on Thursday morning, so tune in. Thank you, Mr. Holt.
Thank you, Dr. Glossio. Coming up to future meetings, Parent Advisory Committee meeting, as I mentioned, September the 18th in the high school cafeteria at 6 p.m. Community Relations and Wellness Committee on October the 1st at 6 p.m. down in the Administrative Conference Room. Curriculum and Instruction Committee will be meeting on October 1st at 7 p.m. in the conference room of the administration offices. And our next school board meeting is on Tuesday, October the 8th. So I want to make emphasis on that, because usually we meet on Monday, but it's Tuesday, October the 8th, here in the high school auditorium at 7 p.m. What do you say we adjourn?